What is up, Print Squad? I am back with another tutorial, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I made my t-shirt order form. I've had a few people asking about it, so this is my basic order form, and I'm not going to make this exact same one, but I'm going to make one that's similar to this just so I can show you guys how I made it. And on my order form, I've actually used this for a few years, but I want to kind of change it up a little bit. So, I'm just going to go through and show you guys how I made this one, and you can make yours like this or similar or in whatever way you want. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do, this is Photoshop, and I use Photoshop for stuff like this because it's a lot easier. You can use like Microsoft Word or Microsoft Works or whatever program like that if you would like to, but I like to use Photoshop for pretty much everything. So right now I'm going to leave this file here. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to open a new file, create a new file, and I want it to be the same way that this one is, which is in the landscape position. So I'm going to do the width at 11 inches and the height at 8.5 inches. Okay, and everything else I'm going to leave the same. It should be the regular settings. Okay, the first thing I like to do is right here, as you see, it's just the plain white background. When I'm designing something, I like to use the registration marks, and the all the things that can help you line everything up straight. So I'm going to go over here at the top, and I'm going to click on View. Then I'm going to go down to Extras and click on that. So now that I have done that, I'm going to go right down here to my folder, and I have already created this folder that is called 2017 T-shirt work order form. So what I'm going to do with this folder is I'm going right here to the internet, and what I ended up typing in right here in Google is t-shirt mock-up vector, and you can use any of these. Here's one that you can use right here. You can use that one if you like. They have different ones. Like this one has stuff on it, so you won't be able to use that one, but this one, if you wanted to use it, all you have to do is erase whatever out. But it's easier just to find one. Like this one would be a good one to use. This one right here would be a good one to use. And you can just kind of click and look around and find the one that will be best for you to use. Here's one that's front and back, and you can tell that this is front and back because it kind of shows the inside of the collar on that one, and then the back side does not have the collar. And doing this, the only things I would recommend that you do is to use a white one. I just feel like the white one is best to use, and here's actually a few that would be nice to use. So I'm just gonna kind of go through a little bit just to look around at some. So right here, this one actually has a few on there. You could actually use that or this. Okay, so I already have a few that's saved at the top that I had looked at earlier, so I'm gonna go and find the one that I used, and this is the one that I used. They also have the female version of it, and they also have the long sleeve version of it. So I'm going to go with the one that I use. So I'm just going to grab it and pull it to my folder. Okay, and that's the first thing I need, because if you look back here at the original, I have this, and that's pretty much the same one that I used. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is go back to the internet, and I'm going to just find, this is like an outline of a square, and what I did, I just typed in square and clicked on images, and these are some of the things that popped up right here. So you can go through and find whatever square you want, but basically I'm just going to use this one right here. I just basically want the outline of the square, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to drag it and put it in my folder. Okay, so I have my square and I have my mock-up image. So now I'm going over to Photoshop, and if you have a better version of Photoshop than I have, all you have to do is drag and drop your images into Photoshop that you know, whatever you want to use. But because the one that I have kind of sucks, I have to actually go to Photoshop and find my file. So I click on File and I go down to Place Embed, and I have to find the folder that actually has my you know, has what I want to use in it. So right there, click on W Productions, and it is 2017 work order form. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my mock-up and I'm going to resize it so that I can, and I'm going to hit shift so that I can, I'm hold down shift and resize it to keep it in proportion. And I got that tip from Robert Loyal here on YouTube. He left it as a comment. He's a real good designer if you guys are interested. Okay, so I don't want it to be exact. Let me check this other one out that I have. Okay, it's well, it deleted that off of there. So let me go ahead and hit place one more time and click on that, place, and I'm going to size it to about where I need it, and I'm going to place it down here in the corner, and I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm going to kind of just check it with this other one right here, and it's pretty much the same, but I think the one that I have here is a little bit wider, which will give them more room to write. So I'm going to actually resize it. So I'm going to click on edit and free transform and make it just a little bit wider and move it over so that the sleeve, the whole sleeve of that shirt is on there. So boom, I have that. And then the next thing that I'm going to do, I need the information from the customers. So what I'm going to do right here, the first thing I'm going to do is type in name, and this has this is like super big right here. I don't need it that big, about 14, let me see, maybe 18. And I don't really like that font. I want to use kind of a thicker font. I'm going to use Georgia. Don't really like that. And here's the thing, you know, when you're doing this, you can use whatever fonts you want, but I kind of like a thicker font. Okay, I'm going to go with that. And then I'm going to go with 24 on that. So once I have typed name, I want to put a space bar. I want to hold down the shift button and hit the dash key to make the line for name, and I'm gonna remove the extra so you guys can see it. Okay, so I have the name right here so that they can fill in their information. All right, and I'm gonna kind of just put that right here. And the next thing that I will put is their phone number, so I'm just going to put that right below that. And actually you can put all of this on the same line if you like and just skip a space, but I like to do it separately so that I can make it spacing easily without having to change the settings or anything. So the next thing I'm going to put is phone number, and I'm going to put the space so that they can have enough room to put the phone number. Okay, and this may not be lined up perfectly because I'm kind of eyeballing it. All right, and on this other one that I actually have the phone on the same line as the email, as the name. I'm going to put it back like that. It's been a while since I made this, so I don't remember exactly. So I'm gonna hit cancel right there. All right, tell you what, I'm gonna leave that right there, and then I'm gonna put due date right next to this. Okay, because I don't have that on the other one, so I think that's something that was kind of missing from the other one that could have been added. I usually kind of just wrote it on there. I made these when I first started, so some of the stuff later I realized that I should have put some stuff but never did go back. And right here I'm going to put email and put the space. All right, Okay, now on this other one that I did, I also had the shirt color and the text color, and I had those on separate lines, but I'm going to go back and I'm going to put both of those on the same line just to save space. So I'm going to put shirt color and leave a space for that. Then I'm going to put text color. So I'm going to have to move it back this way to line it up. Alright, and actually I think I'm going to want to switch text color with email, possibly, just to give it a little more space, but you guys can kind of play with that. I'm just going to kind of show you a basic way to create it, and I don't want it to be on my t-shirt, so I'm just going to kind of move that back. Let me delete a little bit of that just to give it a little bit more space over here. Okay, and the next thing that I have is additional details. So something that I realized that I could have had was the sizes on here and then have details, because that's just something that I should have had on here. So I don't know, you can do it either way you want. You can put additional details and they can add in whatever they want right here. For additional details, they can put like what I have been getting them to do is like put 1 extra large, and if they wanted something on the back, 1 extra large with Bob on the back, or stuff like that, or whatever the thing is. Sometimes if they have different color shirts, I just put an X on these 2 lines right here, and then I would just put red size large. And this, I use this form if they're ordering, I use this form for them to put their order so that I will know what I am doing, what I'm designing, what I have to create for them. But if they don't have like a big group order, most of the times I use this. If all the shirts are going to be the same, I use this. Like say somebody comes in and they want 5 shirts, they can put it on here, 5 whatever size shirts, however many in whatever size, but you can create it kind of however you want to on here, just as long as you're satisfied with it. So the next thing that I would do, I'm just gonna put size and number right here. Well, I tell you what, since this is another easy part, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up to File, and I'm gonna do Place Embed, and I'm gonna go ahead and place the squares where I want them, and they are pretty much oversized, so resize them, and I kind of, let me see, you can put one right here, and I like for them to be a little bit wider right here, and hit enter. And then I'm gonna come over to the right side of the screen right here, and I'm gonna right click, and then I'm gonna click on duplicate, and it's gonna make an extra copy of that. And now to keep it lined up even with that one, I'm gonna come over to the left side of the screen, and I'm gonna click on the move tool, and then I'm gonna just slide this one over and slide it into the space that I need for it to be in. And that sometimes takes a minute to do, so I'm gonna fast forward through this part. Alright, so now that I have these 2 boxes up here, the next thing that I'm going to do is, just in case the customer gets confused, I want to stop all the confusion if I can. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go ahead and type front so that they'll know to put the front design here, and back so that they'll know to put the back design here. So I'm going to type it below this, and that way they know that's the front design. Then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to type back, and that way they know that this is for the back design. And also down here, you can tell, you know, that the shirt right here, and the reason I put this down here is in case they have the front design but they want like a pocket logo. The customer, all they would have to do is just draw a circle right here, you know, to say, okay, this is the location. Or say they wanted something on the sleeve, they could put it right here, and I would put it with the extra details. Or on the back, they might want it right here in the center, or they may want a full back. So, you know, that this is just really used so that they can put the exact location. But I do have some customers that come in and they fill this out right here, and they, you know, they put it in on the actual mock-up. So that's another thing that I want to do right here. I'm going to duplicate the front layer, and if you forget how, let me go slow with you guys, because I know some of y'all are new to this. You come over here on the side with the layers, the right side, and you right click, and then you hit duplicate layer. And once that layer is duplicated, I like to go up and get the move tool right over here on your left side, and I'm going to slide front down, and I'm going to put part of it over here where it's on top of the head. And then I'm going to go click on the font tool right over here on the left side, and I'm going to click on the color of the font right up at the top on the second line, and go all the way over to the color, and I'm going to change it into white. Okay, so now that it is white, and I'm going to go over here and use the move tool again. Now that it's white, you can see it on here. So the next thing I'm going to do is just resize it, and I'm going to go to edit, free transform, and now I can resize it to fit inside the head so that they know this is the front. And then I'm going to duplicate front just because I want to make sure that it fits inside of that. So I'm going to duplicate front, hit duplicate, and OK. And I'm going to grab it and drag it over here and put it on here. Then I'm going to go to the left side of the screen and click on the text tool, and I'm going to just type in back. Okay, so now I have the front and the back labeled, and the rest of this can pretty much be how you want it. Like if you look at, I'm going to go ahead and save this file, save as. Let me see. Okay, saving it, new form. Okay, so I have that saved. Okay, and right here, as you see, I have all of this info up here. I mean, it's a few things you can do with this over here. You can leave it like that, additional details. You can put in sizes. Let me see. Okay, now I have to change the text back to black so that it'll show up. Size slash, my bad, did something else. Size slash number. Okay, you can do something like this, size slash number, and then you can come down here below it, and then you can go up to the top and hit center so that it'll type in the center, and you can put, and I'm doing the wrong thing, you can put that slash mark. Let me see. We're just gonna center everything right here. Okay, we got that right there, the size slash center. And then we're gonna go down here, we're gonna type another one of those marks, enter another one of those marks, enter, and one more of those marks. So if they had like a small, medium, large, extra large, we can duplicate this layer. Okay, so now we have 2 of these right here, and then over here we can add another text spot where we can put additional. If I can spell additional, ADDITIONAL, additional info. And we can put that right here. We can shrink it down a little bit to about 12. And then we can go right here and add some spaces for it. And let me see, I want to make sure that it's going to fit. And just fill everything in right here where they can put additional info. And I'm going to move all of this up. Let me see. I'm going to come over here to name, and I'm going to move it up. Messed up, so all I have to do is hit undo on that. Where? Okay, come down, go into name and click on that layer over here, and then I'm going to move that up and move it out some. I'm going to get the phone. Let me find where I've got phone number at. Okay, the phone number, move that up. The due date, I'm going to move that up. And just take everything and move it up. Email, we're going to move that up. And some people have super long emails, so that deserves a line for itself. The shirt color and the text color, we'll have it right off in here. And I'm going to make the email line slightly longer. Okay, email is down at the bottom. But yeah, sometimes people have long email addresses, unfortunately. Okay, that should be good for that. And right here I'm going to take the size and put that right here, and put the other one, move it up and over a little bit. Okay, and this next thing I'm going to do, this is just going to be like a little trial thing that I'm going to do. So I'm going to make another text right here, and I'm going to just click anywhere on here just to get it started. So I'm what I'm doing is making the lines for this, since I have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. So right here I'm going to click and make 1, 2, and I'm going to back up a little bit, make them even, 3, and make sure that they're even, 4. Okay, that should be even. So now I'm going to take it over here and I'm going to place it below this so that they can write on those lines. Okay, and now I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm going to click duplicate layer, and now I'm going to take this other line right here, slide it over here. Let me get this in a good spot. That's the other one I need. Okay, get this one slid over slightly. Okay. Okay, and slide this one over slightly. Okay, and just to make this look a little bit better, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these boxes right here, the boxes up here at the top. I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to right click over here on that layer, and I'm going to click duplicate layer and OK. Then I'm going to bring it down here, and I'm going to go up to edit and free transform, so that I can resize it. And that way, whoa, did the wrong thing. Edit, undo, edit, go down to free transform, and I'm sorry, I was hitting control as I was doing that, and that is not what I needed to do. Okay, so right there you have your sizes and everything in one space, one place. And to even divide it further, let me fix this, fix it a little bit, bring this up slightly and hit enter. And to divide it even more, what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate that box, duplicate layer, and hit OK. And then I'm going to come over here and go to free transform once again, and now I'm going to make it so that it divides both of those in two. Okay, so now let me see, size, I'm going to move that over slightly just to get it lined up better. Okay, I need the other one, so line this one up about right there, should be fine. Okay, so now I'm going to work with this additional info right here, and that way if it's any other details that I need to know, they can let me know by writing it in there. So we just hold this down and get the space bar where we need it, and you can make as many or as few lines as you want right here. I mean, it's really just left up to you, but this is how I made mine, and it wasn't exactly like this, but I'm just letting you know, I'm doing it a little bit different so y'all can see that, you know, just be creative and make it in the way that you need it. Everybody's does not have to be the same. You don't have to have the exact same thing that I have. Be original. Let me see. Okay, so right there, and this is basically the final thing. And I mean, you can go through this and you can change it around however you want to, but this is basically, you know, the way I made mine. So I'm going to show you this one now. I'm going to go ahead and hit save on this one. Then I'm going to show you, this is the one that I just made. This is my old one. So as you see, you know, they are slightly different and the same in a few ways, but that is basically how you do it. And I mean, it depends on you how you want to do everything. You know, you can just kind of take this, and you know, all you have to do now is print out some copies. Over here you go to file and you go to print, and you know, whatever you're doing, you can go over here and make sure you hit scale, because I did kind of get close to the edges on here. I would go down to scale to fit media, and you can see right here how it's going to print out. But if you hit scale to print media, it sizes, I mean scale to fit media, not print media, it sizes it to the sheet of paper that you're printing on. So that is basically it, and you are done. And this is how you create an order form, and I hope that this helped you guys out. And on this part, you can put the size, like a YS will be a youth small, you know, if they have different sizes, and if they want 5 youth smalls or however many, and that's basically it. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful. If you are interested in any other products or equipment that I use to make t-shirts, be sure to check that description box below. And also, I still have Print Squad t-shirts available. You guys can check those out on my website at www.tshirtchicktv.com. I also have a link for that in the description box. If you want free credit card processing and a free website, there's links for that below also. So I will see you guys in the next video. Print Squad out.